Hi everyone! Welcome to week 4 of Opera Makers. In today's episode, my teaching artist friend and costume and set designer Sonja Rainey is going to show you how to create your very own opera set at home. And we can't wait to see them. Don't forget to share your creations with us on social media if it's okay with your parent or guardian. Tag us at Canadian Opera and use the hashtag OperaMakers, and you could win a pair of tickets to see a 2021 production of your choice. We'll be drawing a winner every week. All right, are you ready to set the stage? Let's go.
Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Sonja Rainey and I am a set and costume designer, and I am also one of the opera teaching artists here at the COC. Today we're going to be setting the scene and creating our very own miniature theaters, complete with tiny set designs and our own performers so that we can create our very own operas at home. Let's get started. Today we're going to be making one of my favorite set design projects, a tiny scale theater complete with model of your very own design. And as if that weren't enough, a tiny little performer so you can perform your own tiny operas while at home. You'll need a few simple materials for this project, including some paper, some tape, a pencil, a pen, a pair of scissors, something to color with, and a couple of stir sticks or a skewer, other little skinny stick of some kind. The first thing we're going to do is to fold our paper in half. Crease it well and cut it down that fold. The next thing we're going to do is create the proscenium for the theater. Now, a proscenium is kind of like a fancy picture frame, like this, except instead of a painting or a photograph, you're actually going to see the world of your opera inside of here. It's the architecture that surrounds the stage. In order to make it symmetrical, we'll fold it in half. And this time we're going to design a fancy shape along the top. And this can really be whatever you want that you want to cut out. So now we need to draw our proscenium opening, and this is going to be where you see the show. And we're going to just cut straight across here and leave a little bit on the edges where we're going to fold. I'm going to fold along here. And we're going to cut along here. fold from the center to this folded line where the cut ends back. There we go. So now we have these two openings, and this is where the stage will happen, in behind here. So that's the very front of the theater. Basically here you can do whatever you want. Design it how you like. You can do columns, you can do flourishes and swirls, whatever floats your boat. This is the decorative frame for the world of your show. So it's actually the architecture. Feel free to start with a pencil and just even outlining the basic shapes. If you want columns, if you want curtains on the top here, if you want a fancy emblem or design or the name of your theater, you could name it after yourself at the top, and then go over that with the pen. For speed's sake, I'm going to just start with the pen right away. All right, now we have this done. We can open it up, and inside we will put our design. This is where our next piece is going to go in behind. And just slide it underneath your proscenium and line it up with the bottom edge. And with your pencil, just lightly outline that section. Great. Now that we have our proscenium drawn out and traced onto our second piece of paper, we can see the area that we outlined and traced on here is the area that we want to keep our set design inside it, because that's what we'll be able to see. So to start, I like to think of the space around the proscenium as a kind of portal to the world of the opera. From the inspiration, I'm liking the idea of creating some kind of watery cave. So I'm thinking that a cave kind of shape might be the direction I go in for this first border piece. Whatever makes sense for you as that kind of opening, framing it. Could be forest, could be outer space, could be industrial, could be from an ancient time, but you want to keep within this general area so we have room to add more layers of scenery. All right, so I've got some books and some magazines and some comic books and some little stickies. If you've got a piece of paper that you can rip up into little pieces, you're going to use these as bookmarks. And what you're going to start doing is just looking for images that are inspiring to you. And you're going to just make note of them. This one, the first page, I love the shape of this, like very dramatic setting. Sometimes I'm also looking for pictures of characters who could possibly be in my opera or who would inspire a story I want to tell. Sometimes I'm just drawn to patterns and color and beautiful shapes. Other times I'm looking for really specific historic information. If you're setting it in the past or somewhere in the future, this might be of interest to you. And sometimes you're looking for an image that's going to ignite an idea about what your opera is all about. There's really no limit to your imagination, so dream up the wildest opera ever. our next task is to cut around the portal shape that you've created. Here I'm just coloring in some of the portal layer that's visible from behind the proscenium. You could color it in, cut it off, or just leave it as it is. Now we have our proscenium, our portal, and we're ready for the next layer, the next depth of our theater set. So this is an opportunity to take inspiration from some of the images. Maybe there's another reference you want to draw in. For me, this picture is from, can you guess? It is a Dr. Seuss book, and I really love the shapes of the curves and the bright colors, and especially this building right here that's got an archway in it and also these steps. And I think that these spaces with steps and the entryways would be really interesting for a theater design to be able to move through the space for the performers. So that's my inspiration. I'm curious what your inspiration is. I can't wait to see these when they're done. We're going to take another piece of paper, and now we have this extra piece, and I'm going to start thinking about how these archways and this building, this tower, is going to work into this space. So this is a nice opportunity to think about different heights that you can add in and where your performers might perform from. Now it's time to cut out all of the open, empty areas of your design so that we can see further back into the space where our backdrop will be. Once you have all of your designs done, it is time to add color. This is my favorite part. Maybe you've already been adding color, but have fun with this. Add texture, add shading, add pattern, whatever you like. When you open the curtains, you'll see the blank side is visible. So here I'm just coloring that in. Feel free to do the same and expand your portal. For the sides of the theater, we're going to make an accordion fold on both sides so that the front of the theater here and the back of the theater are going to be supported by a zigzag along the sides here. To do that, we're going to fold it in half this way. And we're going to cut along here. Stack them on top of each other because we want them to match. So this is kind of important. And then we're going to create an accordion fold like if you were creating a fan. So we're going to fold it one way, and then we'll flip our paper over and we'll fold it again going the opposite direction. Great, now we have an accordion, and we're going to take these apart. I'm going to flip this one over so that they're mirrors of each other. And that's what we're going to attach the back of our theater set to, is the edge of each one of these right in here. If you don't have glue, you can always use tape. And we want to make sure to line it up along the bottom as best as we can. This is mirrored. Like that. Now on these two ends, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to glue this back piece here. Now you're going to repeat the process and add in your portal layer and your set element layer, and you're done. Crease all of the accordion edges nicely and your tiny theater will come together. Oh wait, remember this guy? La, 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 la. Now it's time to make our final piece, our tiny puppet performer. For this part, you'll just need to add a stick or thin wire and some tape to the supplies that you have already. And feel free to use the scrap pieces of paper left over from the rest of the project. Have fun trying out characters in different sizes. Small ones, big ones. You can even use toys that you have or action figures to be your opera stars. I'm going to demonstrate this with the small-sized character, but all of the same ideas apply for whatever size you choose to make. Here I'm looking at the shapes in the set design to decide how tall I want to make my character. If I want them to fit in this doorway, I want them a little bit smaller so that they can get inside. Starting with an oval for the head, creating a block torso, and from there, I'm going to draw some simplified triangular legs. Now to add the arms. These are as simple as stick figure that you can add a bit of detail to later. After this, I'm going to outline with pen the shape that I have and start to add in some little details of the costume as I go. What kind of character lives in your opera? Adding some color and cutting this out all the way around except at the bottom. I'm leaving a little tab about 2 centimeters long that I can fold up and will form the base for my wooden skewer to attach to. I'm making sure to bend it so that it's a nice right angle. And I'll add tape onto the end of the skewer and then press that onto the bottom of the character. There we go. You're ready to perform. To create an entrance for your opera character, you want to use your scissors to make a slice from the lower edge of the accordion along one of the pleats. This should be a little bit taller than your character so that they can slide in from the side. When you have your theater set up, you'll be able to slide your puppet through the slot you've made, and they'll be able to make an entrance from the wings. Hello. Congratulations, you have completed your very own tiny theater complete with miniature set design for your very own opera. We would love to see what you've made. So if your parents say it's okay, connect with us on social media at Canadian Opera #OperaMakers. Join us next week for Let's Talk Opera with opera makers, all about recitative and singing dialogue.